address this. You know, every member of Congress, I'm sure, has talked to their constituents and can share stories about how their constituents are impacted by rising prices. I can tell you myself, you know, growing up as a child, I experienced what it was like to have it be difficult for my family to afford food. I was one of 12 kids. My father was first a farmer and a roofer. My mom was a stay-at-home mom. And I can tell you a stressful time for my mother was going to the grocery store. And the reason for that is because she knew she would not have quite enough money to buy everything that she thought she needed. So I remember walking with her up and down the aisles, and she was calculating in her head how much she was putting in the cart. Was very concerned that she would get to the register and be embarrassed that she would have to put some things back. And today, people are feeling that. I hear in my district, for instance, my constituent Lamar, he put the impact of inflation in clear terms. He tells me that he spends more now, but has less. He's doing with less. Paul says he's sadly giving up on his hopes of retirement at this time. Tim said he has to choose between gas and groceries every week. Laverne, 66 years old, had to go back to work to help out his children and his grandchildren now. Though the impact of inflation on future debt will mean, as I mentioned earlier, that his grandchildren will be paying the cost of the reckless spending that we're seeing now. They'll be paying for that for decades. So we've all heard from our constituents. We've heard their outcries. We've heard them talk to us about needing to rein in inflation. I think it's time that we take it as a wake-up call. Let's identify the causes of inflation and work to mitigate them. And that's one of the reasons that I wanted to get up and speak tonight, because we've had debates in both the committees that I mentioned about the causes of inflation. And that's not just a political debate. It's not just because. It's because the only way we can begin to solve it is to understand the root cause of inflation, what led to where we are now, and then what we can do to change it. It's going to take leadership at all levels of government to address not only inflation, but the $30 trillion now in debt and trillions of dollars in deficits as far as we can see and as far as the Biden budget projects. Now, I'm a business owner, not an economist, so I can't even say that I have all the answers. But what I can tell you is that I believe that capitalism, freedom, free enterprise have made the United States the most powerful nation in the history of the world, has provided more opportunity than ever before in the history of humankind. And I think returning to those core values can help lead us, will help lead us out of this mess.